Okay, so now we're actually going to work in reverse. They're asking us what is inequality represented by this graph. So just like in the past when we had to write the equation when given a graph, we're going to do the same thing. And you guys already know, I mean, a lot of the rules are the same when you're when you're writing the equation of a graph, right? You want to start by knowing what is your y-intercept, right? So in this case, my line of solutions is going through the point uh, 0, uh, 0 comma 4. So I know that my y-intercept is going to be a positive 4. So I can type that in. This is my equation down here. I have a positive 4. And then I have to figure out my slope, right? And we've talked about being really sure that you pick two really good points. So I'm gonna use this point, and then I'm gonna use this point right here. And I can see that my slope is gonna be down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. So down is a negative 1, right? And so down is a negative 1 and right is a positive 1, right? So my fraction would be negative 1 over 1. We should always simplify. So 1 divided by negative 1 is just negative 1, right? So they always want us to simplify on these programs. And then the last thing I have to do, everything has been the same, just like we did for writing the equation of and writing an equation from a graph up until now. The only difference when you're writing an inequality from a graph is that you have to deal with this sign, the inequality sign. And so that means looking, number one, at the line and remembering that dashed lines mean that these are not solutions. So things along this line are not solutions, which means we're not looking at an equal to sign. So when we're down here and we choose the sign, we know we're not going to choose this one because this is less than or equal to, and that would be a solid line. And we're also not going to choose this one, which is greater than or equal to, because again, this is also a solid line. And since we have a dashed line, we know we're either going to do greater than or looking at a less than. So the second question is, where is my graph shaded? From the line of solutions, if my graph is shaded up, like this one is, then I know we're talking about greater than. If my graph was shaded down, then we would know we were looking at less than. So we know that we're looking at an up shading and a non-solid line, so this has to be the greater than sign. And once I've got that, I should be good to go. Check our answers. Good. So we'll do one more. Okay. Once again, we're going to find the inequality from this graph. So just like before, I'm going to start with my y-intercept, which is 0, 1. So I'm going to enter my y-intercept. I'm going to look at my slope and pick 2 points. And again, this looks like to be a fairly easy one. It's down 1, right 1. So down is negative 1, right is positive 1. So it'd be negative 1 divided by 1. But I realize that that is actually a whole number, right? It's just negative 1 divided by 1 is just negative 1. And I'm pretty sure they're going to want us to simplify these. And then, interestingly enough, we have to ask again, what is our inequality sign? So again, we have to look, this line is dashed. So again, we know we're looking at a greater than or a less than sign. So we're looking at either this sign, less than, or this sign, the greater than sign. And we have to determine then if our shading is up like it is here. We're talking about greater than. So I'm going to use this one. And that should be good. Okay, let's see if they give something different. Okay, good. This next one's a little bit different. So once again, if I'm going to create the equation for this line, I need to see where my line, my y-intercept is, right? Where my line of solutions crosses the y-axis. In this case, it's at -7. So it's at 0. The point is 0, -7. So I'm going to put in my y-intercept as -7. And then I need to find my slope. And so I'm going to pick 2 points, right? And this time I'm going to pick this one because it's going right through the corner. And I'm going to choose, this is a tough one. Let's see. I go with this one right here. Okay, that looks like it's going right through the corner. All right, so let's do our rise, right? Slope is rise over run. So let's start with the rise. So I'm going to go from this point, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going down 3. So I'm going to pause for a second and put that in so I don't forget. Negative 3. Where was I? I was right here and I went down 3. And I'm going to go, my run is going to be left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So left 5. So left is negative, negative 5. Okay, so remember on these programs, they always want you to simplify. And a negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive. So I'm actually going to get rid of the negative signs on each of these. Okay, because remember, negative divided by negative is the same as negative 3/5 divided by negative 5 is the same as 3 over 5. And these programs almost always want you to simplify. Okay, last I need to figure out what my inequality is. My inequality sign is, right? So once again, I'm given a dashed line, so I know that these are not solutions, right? The points that fall on the line are not solutions. So I'm not looking at a sign with an equals on the bottom. I'm looking at either less than or greater than. And I have to determine less than or greater than, right? This one or this one by where it's shaded. So if it was this one, greater than, the shading would be up, as it was on our last few graphs. But in this case, the shading is down, so now I'm talking about less than. Okay, that should be it. Yeah. Okay, good luck. If you need to rewatch this video, go ahead and do so.